Hello peeps! So you came here today to hear the story of my very first experience with Flesh and Blood. I'm glad that you're here because I got quite a story to tell. So I would say, let's go and listen to the story of CRACH first Flesh and Blood experience. Let's go. First of all, I want to say that Flesh and Blood is an amazing game. I am really excited to learn more of this game. And also little disclaimers is that the people that I'm gonna tell about, my opponents that I did face, I don't hate any of them. But some of your decks can go eat that. Alright? Disclaimer over. So my very first experience was at a local game shop, of course the Hub Game Launch, an awesome shop where I go pretty often, to say the least. And I went to the very first event, and for me was like a local event of Flesh and Blood where we were playing Blitz. So Blitz is like the format where you play the shorter games with like the smaller decks. The reason why I started with Blitz is because that's the product that they do sell. Unfortunately, right now you can't buy decks that you can start playing that are from CC, which is like the decks that are bigger, the games that take longer, the games that most people do appreciate more apparently. I don't know all the information about that, only that I was only able to start playing Blitz, so I went to a Blitz event. And I was feeling confident. I really shouldn't feel confidence, because little extra information is that I started playing on this event one day before I learned the game. Yes, I did learn to play the game. I played my very first little training match a day beforehand. So I guess you all know how this is gonna end well. People were warning me, like, CRACH, you're insane. You're gonna be destroyed. You're not gonna have a good time. You're there with your little pre-con deck, no changes. Maybe you added like 1 or 2 cards. I was like, no. I added 3 cards for my boosters. Felt like this is the best way to learn about the other decks, see what I like to play against, see what I really dislike, and see what would be a deck for me to build. Also, I started playing with the pre-con deck of Lexi. Some of my friends did recommend me the Lexi deck, that it was like a fun deck to learn to play, that it was kind of fast. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna trust my friends who already play this game and see how well it goes with the Lexi deck. Let me tell you, my very first opponent was a friendly gentleman who started playing with the deck Kano. Kano the Wizard! I was looking at the card and I saw that he did arcane damage. Ooh. I had no idea what arcane damage was. I was like, okay, magic, I guess. He's a wizard, of course he's gonna do magical damage, arcane damage. What's wrong with that? And I was like, oh, he has even less HP than I have. So he's probably gonna do a lot of damage, but I can hit pretty hard with my bow. So maybe I can kill him before he can do all his shenanigans and do all his instant speed spells. Because he told me about that he was able to do damage also on my own turn, on instant speed. I was like, oh no, here we go again. Magic the Gathering blue players doing their shenanigans in another game. I was like, okay, I can do this. Let's start. And then he told me that I wasn't able to block. Say that again. Not able to block. Why wouldn't I be able to block? I can block. I've always been able to block. Why can't I block? Because apparently arcane damage can only be blocked by certain special block cards that I didn't have, that I never heard about. So it was a game of who can shoot who the fastest. But he was able to block, but I wasn't. That sounds great for a first match, right? I was like, okay, if I'm not going to use any of my cards as blocks, then I can use everything pure on damage. Like, okay, who can be fastest? The guy with all the experience, with a strong deck? Or the guy with 0 experience and with the pre-con deck? We all know how this ended, right? But there was a moment where I was able to do on his total health 11 damage in 1 turn. And let me tell you something, peeps. I wasn't looking for a lot that day. I wasn't even hoping for a win. But that look on his face, the fear in his eyes, was worth it all for me. I had such a good time. It was my very first real matchup against Kano the Mage. And I gotta tell you, now that I know about arcane damage and that I can block it with certain cards that I still don't have, by the way, but I'm gonna look for them. I feel that that match would have turned out very differently. But it was a great experience for me to learn about certain cards that are unblockable for me if I'm not prepared for that. But now I am. So that was a learning experience for me, and also a fun way to prove myself as a player. Like, I saw it in his eyes. He was afraid to lose to this little noob. And I was like, that's good, that's good. That's what I want to see. It's not a win, but it's a personal win for me. There we went. He had the win. He had like 2 HP left. So I was like, you know what? I proved myself. I feel confidence. Whatever happens today, I'm gonna go home happy. Oh boy, was I wrong. I wasn't ready for what was coming up next. My next opponent was playing a deck of a ninja called Benji. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know it, I know it, we all know it. I'm a new player. I played against the deck only once, but I already have a hashtag. F you Benji. Oh yeah, F you Benji. What a horrible deck. What an unfun moment did I have. So I came from this mage that I was unable to block, and I went to my next opponent and he was like, I do 2 damage, and if I do 2 damage or less, you cannot block me. Oh boy, is this Flesh and Blood? A whole event of people doing weird shenanigans, making new players suffer because they don't know about certain mechanics yet. And yes, I did warn them that I was a new player. I was like, yeah, sorry if I'm slower. Oh, no worry, it's all good. Do you know when I lost? Against the Benji player? With the roll dice. Yes, with the roll. And like, how do you mean? Because he won the roll, he was able to go first, and my turn never came. Yes. Yes, indeed, chat. He beat me in his first turn. I wasn't able to do anything against the Benji player because he kept drawing, he kept going again. Blah, blah, blah. I was able to add in my deck 1 card that was able to do something against him, and that card was gonna be Blizzard. I already knew it. I was like, okay, what could I have done in this situation? Only Blizzard that I know of. That was the only card in my deck that I added in from a little booster that I did open aside from the starter deck. This is ice. I can put this nice card in my Lexi deck, right? So that's one of the 4 cards that I did add in. But yeah, I didn't draw it. I wasn't able to interact with anything. He used like a special mask equipment. I don't know the name of it, sorry about that. Because of that mask, he was able to do like a lot of shenanigans, and he kept going. Yeah, there was that. No problem with the player, but his deck can go either. Yeah. Third match was against the player that taught me the game. They're like, student against sensei. What's gonna happen now? So he was playing the deck of Reinar. I hope I say the name correct. So he was playing the Brute. I was like, ooh, that looks fun. I already played, like, I learned to play the game against that deck. I knew it was doing a lot of damage. I know it was very aggressive. I was ready for that. So beforehand, I already put like some equipments that were gonna block more instead of using my special other effects. It was an interesting match. It felt pretty fair, to be honest. At the end, it was 2 HP left for him, 2 HP left for me. He was faster and he did the final blow, and I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel bad about the other matches as well, but that felt like the first time that I really was super close to my first victory, which was more than I could have hoped for. And then we went to the final and the 4th round, and I came up against a mirror match, more known as someone playing the same hero as I was, Lexi. I was like, oh, that's cool. But I started thinking about that. Hold on, that's a more experienced player than I am. He upgraded his deck. So he's literally playing a better version of my deck with more experience. So I was like, I'm in trouble. And I was like, you know what? I might be in trouble, but I'm gonna give it my all because I need that first victory. I don't really need it, but I want it. Okay. So Lexi versus Lexi. I felt that was like the big thing that I wanted to do. Shoot, big damage in 1 turn, go again, shoot again, reload, go again, shoot, bam. And I did that. oh boy, I did a lot of damage, people. In some of my, was it my first or second turn? I'm not sure. Half of his life was gone, and I was still at my healthy 20, and then he started slowing me down like crazy. But then it started happening. There is a certain card in this card, Winter's Bite. I have it in my deck, as you can see, but I have like 4 copies. That guy had way more. How many more, you ask? I don't know how many, but let's just say that I saw 6 of them. Oh boy! Are they really gonna try to take this away from me? Oh no. Oh no, sir. You are getting nothing. This is my victory. This is my moment to shine. You are better ready, cause I'm coming for you. I'm gonna get it, and I did. And I got my very first victory in Flesh and Blood, in my very first event, second day playing the game. I am not cocky, but I'm goddamn happy about my very first victory with my little precon, Lexi. What a game this is, what an experience this was. I had a lot of fun, but I already know one thing. There are some decks that are really fun to play against, and some decks that can go eat a I'm sorry, but really, Benji. Once again, I need to give you the disclaimer. If you are one of the opponents that I did face, I have no hard feelings with you. I had an amazing time, so I'm even grateful that I was able to face you or even tell this story. Without you, the story wasn't there. And thank you to the person who did learn me how to play this game. And also thank you to the Hub Game Lounge for hosting this event as well. This will definitely not be the last time that I'm gonna play Flesh and Blood. And I hope that you guys are more excited about my Flesh and Blood content. Let me know, do you want to see more videos where I talk about my experience playing the game or my experience and stories about the game? Let me know down below in the comments. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. And the best way to be here next time is by liking and subscribing. So click that subscribe button down below. Also, there is a video right here about Flesh and Blood as well. So definitely go watch that video because I got a lot more coming for you. Hope you're ready. I'm CRACH and I'm out. Bye bye. Whoop.